Yo, what's up? Formal
What's good, my man?
introduction. HipHopMike here with a special guest all the way from I don't even know. You're so far away, bro.
Sligo, Ireland. Sligo, Ireland.
From
All
from
the way
where?
from Ireland.
Ireland.
A little place called Sligo in Ireland.
Sligo, Ireland.
Indeed, you said it, my man. You said
Sligo,
it.
Ireland. We say Ireland over
Yeah, man.
here.
English people say island, and then Americans usually say Ireland. They
Ireland.
like drill out the pronunciation, I guess.
Man, I don't know what goes on, but I appreciate you taking the time this morning.
I'm a busy man. I know. Of course, man. It's a
So
pleasure. It's always a pleasure to chat.
back to what we were talking about before I started recording, because I miss the best parts of the interview before I record, and then I hit record and it gets all generic. I don't want it to go
Fair.
that way with you.
100%, man. 100%.
Because you cool as fuck. You didn't show me a lot of love when I was at
Oh,
High
thank you, man.
97. It helped me keep my
Appreciate that.
mind in a good place because I mean you're awake way earlier than anybody else in America. And when I'm stressed out, wilding out on the Instagram, this guy always pops in and shows hella love. So
I appreciate that, man.
appreciate you.
Appreciate that.
But
Always try to
yeah,
bring positive vibes.
That's it. Don't be a salty bitch.
Can I tell you a funny story just to begin with? How I actually found you? It was during the way I don't know. I clicked off some link. Actually, no, man. Shout out Webby. Shout out Chris fucking Webby. That's how I
Shout out
found
Chris
you.
Webby.
And Chris Webby, like you played Chris Webby one of the songs or something. I clicked in, and it was around the time of the Tory Lanez beef, the Tory Lanez and Joyner Lucas beef. And
Oh,
you were spazzing on your live.
you know I'm Team
And
Tory.
and we were just going back and forth, and I was just commenting, nah, man, Joyner has him. And that's how it kind of started, I guess. So
Yeah,
shout out Webby on
you
that one.
see who won that one?
Yeah, man, Joyner Lucas all day.
Not at
I know, man.
all.
Tory had him. Tory had him.
Tory's
I'll
out
give you
here
that.
cooking motherfuckers on the quarantine radio joint.
Shout out Tory Lanez, man, fucking legend, modern day legend.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, I started doing these Zoom interviews because to be completely straightforward, I don't have a studio to really work out of at the
That's fair.
moment. Coronavirus has Station Head kind of in a spiral. So, we're trying to kind of get a grip over there.
DIY, man, DIY. Back
That's
to
it.
DIY.
I'm still doing Thursdays with them. I'm doing Friday mornings, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try and catch up with people during the week, and
That's dope.
hopefully these videos get lit because if they do, I will work like this forever and never go to a studio again.
Never have to leave the house ever again.
I'll be honest, I like the FaceTimes. I really enjoy it. I think it doesn't like take up too much time. It doesn't make anybody go like all over the place. I do wish there was more of an audience on YouTube. I should
I
have
feel
started
you.
YouTube sooner, but I
As Gary Vee says, man, it's never too late. Like, do you ever see people hopping on Gary Vee's live and they're like, "Oh man, is it too late to start YouTube?" And he's like, "Is it fuck too late to start YouTube? Get on that shit. Like, just
never
do it,
too
do it,
late.
do it, do it. Never too late."
I am curious if YouTube is gonna let me basically like get any traction because I've been on YouTube since 2008. I
Hmm.
became like a premium member this year, and then I just
Okay.
kind of started posting content like a few days ago. So I
Dope.
don't know if it's a thing. Like I feel like Instagram has set me up for failure in many ways. I
Like
think
the algorithm, you think, or
I
what?
think I was like one of the first, like very early on Instagram. I joined in like 2015, like
Hmm.
always posted quote pictures and it was random ish. And I was working at Sleepy's at the time. My traction was pretty good. Like I was started building, things was going up. I might
Hmm.
have got more likes then than I do now because as time has went on, I've lost mad traction. I think at one point I deleted all my pictures instead of archiving them, and that worked against
Oh,
me.
okay. Yeah.
And now I'm just in this like I feel like Instagram has a naughty and a nice list, and I'm so high up on the naughty list that they will never verify me. They never want my videos to get traction. So I'm hoping YouTube isn't the same. I hope YouTube isn't like, oh, you've been a member since 2008 and now you want to start posting? Yeah, I.
It's like a girl. It's like you come back to a girl after so many years. Like, you ain't getting nothing off me.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, where did you learn that?
I know. I
um,
feel that. I feel that.
But yeah, I mean, I figured I'd give it a shot, and I saw you were on earlier, and I wanted to chop it up with you because really, these interviews I didn't want to take to a place of like just strictly interviewing artists and rappers, and I don't even want to call them interviews. I want to call them conversations, to tell you the truth.
Fair.
I think you're a dude that, as much as yes, you make music, and we will talk about anything you want to talk about music related. I do think that this is a really good platform for me to kind of like speak on positive stuff and like
Definitely, man, definitely.
just how people think and give advice and like all around encapsulate what I am and what this is, as opposed to just being like, so tell me about your latest
Check out my
song.
song. Yeah,
Check
yeah,
it
yeah,
out.
yeah.
It's on SoundCloud. I didn't do
Mixtape coming
streaming.
soon.
Want to manage me? I don't like that, and I
Yeah,
don't
no, I
like
feel that. I
putting
feel that.
negative vibes out there. So it's like I think it's a good place to start. Speaking with you because you're not just an artist, but you're also a very smart dude. And with respect
Appreciate
to
that,
a
man.
lot of artists I speak to, some of them are not the smartest people. So a lot of them are bright. A lot of them are great hustlers and finessers,
Yeah, yeah.
but very few are focused on their mental health. I think partly because they're young, a lot of them, and also because I mean it's just not a conversation that we have in hip hop enough. So
No, I feel that. I guess I kind of take that a lot from like rappers like fucking. I wouldn't like listen to them, but like I'd have a lot of respect for like NF, like your NFs and stuff. That like I wouldn't listen to like someone like NF, but someone like who else? Who else would do that? That kind of like whichever. There's raps like with Laurie NF. They're very white rappers, I guess. But I know I take a lot. Like I'm trying to like maybe bring that more into my music at some point. Like more kind of like I never want to be like maybe someone who's like the poster boy of it. So that's a lot of pressure to be like someone okay, like a Kid Cudi, like oh I'm the person. Like that's a hell of a lot of pressure. Like to try to be someone like that. Not that I would
Well, I
want to
love
be.
that you mentioned I mean, I love and I hate because both of these guys I can't stand, but at the same time, I do like where your head's at. Gary Vee and Joyner Lucas.
Oh man,
Um,
I'm a fucking
Both very
I'm a
thought-provoking,
huge
conscious guys. I
huge.
do. The reason I say I don't like it so much is because I think Joyner is a fucking fraud, and I think Gary Vee
Interesting.
is also a fraud to some extent.
Interesting.
Gary Vee makes a lot of great points, but he doesn't really give you that realistic side. He's like literally like what you said about it's never too late to start a YouTube. Just go fucking start a YouTube and you'll be a
Yeah,
millionaire.
obviously. This is
Like
all
it
obviously. Yeah,
doesn't,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
and
I
he
get
never
it.
speaks on like being stressed. Like you would never think that Gary Vee deals with any sort of like everything is good all the time at all times, and if it's not good, it's because of you, and you need to just make it good. And
I think
I
go
believe
on,
in it,
sorry.
but I don't believe in it. You
I'd
be
say my
stressed,
point
Gary.
I'd say my point to that would be like something like kind of I think gets overshadowed a little bit with his content. He always kind of brings it back to like being like having like 20 cars or being a millionaire isn't like it's whatever kind of if it's kind of like people kind of forget that's catered to your situation. Like waking up at 6:30, going to the gym, going for a jog, eating well, not playing PlayStation, and grinding. Like isn't everybody's. It's not going to be like everybody's. It's kind of finding how you kind of balance that with your life. That's why I kind of feel some people
Yeah.
kind of lose it. Like I never view it as this is what you do. You do this. It's like okay, these are like the kind of guidelines. How do you kind of mold that
Yeah,
around your
you got to
situation? If
work
you
it
get me.
into your life. Like, and that's why I say I love what Gary speaks on, and I think he makes a lot of great points and speaks on a lot of great topics. But I don't think Gary wakes up at 6:30 for his workout with a smile on his face, like, let's crush this
No,
fucking.
yeah,
I think he
yeah,
wakes
yeah.
up at 6:30 and is like, fuck, I need coffee, but we gotta like, and everybody needs that little bit of like boost sometimes. Like, it's not
Oh,
that there
definitely.
aren't days where you wake up and you're motivated, but like, Gary makes it
I'll
like he's
keep.
been waking up motivated for 50 years.
I'll keep it honest, you know. Like if I be completely honest, every like this is like something like I was listening to some of Russ's book. Man, you have to listen to. Oh, I'm not sure. Are you a Russ fan?
Yeah, I fuck with Russ. Russ is cool.
Okay.
I mean, he's not cool, but he's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that. So shout out
Same with
Russ.
Logic. Shout out to Logic. Logic is always he's never given credit for he's always like
Oh
he's
man,
not cool, but he's cool. Logic's one of the coolest fucking dudes ever.
like I've never heard bad stories about Logic. It's always been like that he's super humble and shit. But I know this has been said before, but like it really hit home. I know Kanye said in the past, but vulnerability is like your ultimate superpower, like being vulnerable. And if I'll keep it like 100 with you, about 85% of the days I wake up, I feel like absolutely shit. Like I just feel like, and that's just keeping 100. Like that's just the way it is. Like every morning, and it's just about literally the first like step, getting out of bed and doing the positive, and then all the like that negative energy just releases and goes away. But it's about the thing of like choosing, because man, you posted it. I won't like, I'm not like you posted it and it stuck with me. Like I fucking pinned it on my Instagram. you were like, it's a choice. You posted. You must have been feeling hella motivated that day. You must have been just in the
I
zone.
have my days.
You're like, it's a choice. If I can't, I'm paraphrasing, but like, you choose if you want to do this. You choose. And I remember
well, it's
looking
all
at
a
him, and it
choice.
hit home so much. Like, I was just looking at that, and it had me so motivated when I seen that. Like,
Well,
I kept looking at it.
you speaking on the vulnerability, I think, is major too, because the vulnerability goes hand in hand with the discomfort. And it's like, I
Definitely.
tell people nonstop, I mean, relentlessly, at least for the past year, that growth doesn't come unless you're uncomfortable. If you're not
Facts, man.
uncomfortable,
Facts.
you're not going to grow. And in order to be a little uncomfortable, you got to be vulnerable. If you just think you're tough and you're not letting nothing in, and I got this,
Mm-hmm.
eventually the world going to smack you in your head and show you that you might not have
That's
this
for
the way
everything
you
too.
think. You know
Like,
what I
that's like
mean?
for life. That's for music. That's like for business. That's like kind of hit homes for everything. I remember
Yeah.
like, Boy has a quote, like, if you're not on the edge, then you're like taking up space. Like, to growth, you have to be on the edge. You have to be like, if you're like swimming, you have to be on your tippy toes, like, creatively. Because if you're just able to swim the whole time creatively, you're never going to kind of get into the deep end. You're never
Yeah.
going to like really explore and stuff. So yeah, but that's what, especially with music, I'm trying to, like, the vulnerability side, trying to be as honest as possible. Because my favorite, like, when I was listening to Cuddy growing up, the reason I connected with Cuddy is because he just left everything on the table, and that's a hard thing to do. Like, you grow up and you realize that, like, that's a very tough thing to do. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can just let everything on the table.
What do you think of the Kid Cudi Travis Scott record? The
I
Scott.
mean, I'll give you my opinion on it. I think it's a great song, but you know what I'm most happy about? That Kid Cudi is on 16 million on Spotify, and like young kids are listening to him, and that
Yeah.
makes me happy. So I'm like that.
It's very interesting to see that Kid Cudi is like, I guess, starting to be super appreciated by the younger kids
Oh
in a
man, yeah,
way.
definitely.
I mean, the Travis cosign is major, but like also just the fact that, like, I feel like for our generation, Kanye threw such a shadow on Cudi.
Do you
And
think?
like Loki tried to do it a little bit with Travis. I mean, he tried to throw a little bit of, like, I mean, not even try. He did throw basically a sheet over Travis while he was working with him.
And
And
like the Yeezus kind of era, kind of.
yeah, like when Travis was first starting with Ye, it was very like, you're my guy and you work with me.
That's
And
actually
that's it.
interesting. I never thought about it like that. Yeah.
And I feel like it was similar vibes with Cudi. I mean, obviously with Cudi, you know, he's more of an individual. He had, you know, hits and records that he was appreciated by, I think, our generation. But that Kanye shadow
Yeah.
is like so big and dark and like could
That's
really,
true.
and the fact that he wiggled away from the Kanye, didn't necessarily, like, you know, have his own thing. Even when him and Kanye collabed on The Kids See Ghost, he didn't really
Oh,
get the recognition he deserved.
favorite
And then
project of
popped
all
out with
time. Favorite
Travis
project of all time.
with this mediocre ass song, but still opening up to the kids more. Maybe they'll go back and listen to his older stuff. But like 55 million streaming is major.
Wait, it's on 55. Oh shit! I haven't
What'd you
checked it
say?
in a
You said
minute.
it was at what?
Oh no, I was just checking Spotify. That was ages ago. I checked it. That was only like 16 or something on Spotify.
Oh, okay. I'm sure the
Uh,
Spotify's up crazy. I'm about to look right now. I'm gonna get these numbers right.
I'd say I'd say definitely it's probably on that by now. It was number one song.
Do you watch any of these other guys? Oh, he's at 20 million monthly listeners.
20. Fuck.
Yeah, 20,900,244 monthly listeners. The Scots, though, is at 50 million plays.
Jesus, crazy.
Wild, man. And then the next most, oh no, he had a couple. He had Day and Night, was streamed a lot. Pursuit of Happiness, hundreds of millions of plays. But the Scots is going up quick.
Yeah, Scots. What was your question, man, about other artists?
Do you watch any of these other guys, like, besides Gary Vee, or, you know, I watch like a lot of Said Guru. I watch a lot of
Said
Rich
Guru. I started
Paul,
watching him about a week ago.
Yeah, you've been
Said
keeping
Guru's
up
a
with young
man.
Sadhguru or old Sadhguru.
Yeah, OG.
See, I like him because he minds his fucking business. He's very
True.
like, I guess, diplomatic about the whole thing. It's never like, this is what you should do to crush it. It's very like, maybe you're fucking up. And this is maybe why you're fucking up. But
it makes you think like maybe
what do
I
I
am.
know? I'm just a friendly old guru. But nah, I love that he starts at 8 a.m. You go on his YouTube, he like, it starts at 8 a.m. every morning. So you don't necessarily need that 5:30 Gary V go crush it wake up call.
Yeah, I feel it. He said something. Actually, it's very interesting. He said that I was watching one of his lives there only a couple of days ago, and this really hit home with me. He said that humans shouldn't be looked as human resources because resources means a fixed quantity. Humans should be looked as potential because we have unlimited potential. Because I find, like, I can speak personally when, like, I know even though deep down I know that, like, I could do anything. Like, the belief is there to do anything. Everybody has it. Like, everybody puts it, like, a box on themselves. Like, be it subconsciously or consciously. Like, and, like, I think everyone does it to a certain extent. Like, more successful people do it, like, less. Like, I think that it's still, the thoughts are there and they're able to overcome that. And then other people, like, it kind of almost consumes them. And I've been kind of trying to better at that. Like, it's like kind of like the conscious, because it's down in your conscious. It's not just a thing of telling yourself I can do it. It's a thing of really kind of like placing it in your conscious. And like, yeah, exactly.
One thing, my fault. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no bother.
One thing he said that really sat with me is, you know, we always look to God for answers. He's like, we look up to God for answers, and it's like, we don't even know which way is up. And that really hit home for me, because it's like, he's like, the world is spinning, it's going every which way, we don't know which way is up. The only directions we know is in and out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, life isn't in a swinging door where it just swings open and there's the jets and the money. It's more a door that swings in, and as you make space for these things to kind of come in. But we're always so busy trying to push this door out and be stressed about it when it doesn't necessarily reveal what we want it to reveal, as opposed to trying to work the opposite way and kind of pull in things that are positive and push out things that are negative. You know?
That's so true. That's so true. I'm trying to think, is there anyone else here? Because I
love Russell Brand too. I don't know if you watch any Russell Brand.
Yeah, man, Russell's a genius, man. Russell's
so good.
A fucking genius.
He's probably my favorite. He's like the opposite of Gary Vee. I mean, I wouldn't say I don't want to just shade Gary Vee all day, because I do enjoy a lot of the stuff he speaks on. Him just individually, I would love to have a conversation with. Because I'm like, bro, you be talking all this shit, and I do a lot of this shit, and none of it works. And I don't do it because of you. I've been doing it.
Yeah, I feel that. Making it clear, I still want that Gary Vee cosign. Give me that Gary Vee cosign.
Everybody wants the Gary Vee cosign. It's not for nothing. It's the same shit with academics. Academics really isn't like...
Academics is a funny one, so he's a funny...
Well, he's basically just a guy that points shit out, right? And gives an opinion on it, which is like not much different than Gary Vee. He just points shit out and gives his opinion on it. It's just in such a way where it's like, it's not a humble opinion in my opinion. It's not necessarily that Gary Vee is like, you know, this is kind of what I figured out over time, and this is how I feel about it. It's just very in your face. My opinion is the opinion.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what I get from academics. But everybody wants the cosign of the guy who's like, my opinion is the opinion.
Yeah.
But the following isn't because your opinions are great. The following is always because of some third party shit.
I feel. I also feel like not to big up academics, like, because he's like
no bigging up academics on this.
No, you're not academics at all.
Not bigging up academics here. This is not happening here. We can big up Gary Vee, but we will not big up academics here.
Fucking, what I was gonna say? I know. I give credit.
His platform, YouTube, and we're taking it off.
I give credit where credit is due.
Well, what do you give credit for, though, specifically, is my question.
The hustle, just like
But what hustle?
Listen, well, like, I'll put it this way. Okay, first of all, I'm aware that he did get a lot of his following from the whole Chirac thing, and I wouldn't be a fan of that. Like, I remember when everything kicked off with Mr. Vic Mensa. Shout out Vic Mensa. I love Vic Mensa. Huge fan of Vic Mensa.
Big up Vic Mensa.
When, like, I know he got a large following, but, like, he built, the reason I have a lot of respect for academics is, like, you don't get to, like, no matter, like, if I don't agree with someone's opinions on a lot of things, you don't get to that level. Okay, there might be a little, like, dodgy play at some points, but you don't get to that level without just hustle, like, just straight fucking raw hustle.
Not necessarily. That's not the case. You could definitely get to that level without hustle, and I will tell you how. If I do 100 of these videos, right, and I just harass artists that I know, I'm not even to brag, but like I'm gonna just go through the first 4 numbers in my phone, right? Like
I'd say you're connected. Like
it's absurd. It's absurd. Like just the A's, I got hundreds, and it's like A Boogie, it's fucking Amber Rose, it's you
Mm.
name it. Like it's just there's a lot of people, and
I feel it.
I don't bother these people for shit.
I feel that.
And I don't bother them for shit because it's like my platform isn't something like this video is not gonna get 1,000,000 views where it's like let me harass these people.
I feel that.
And maybe I should. I mean, maybe I'm bugging. Maybe if I harass some of these people, I'd probably get them on my shit, and then I could talk about Chicago and then go viral and fucking. But like, just placing yourself next to controversy, next to the 6ix9ine, like inserting yourself in situations because it's convenient, doesn't make you somebody who hustles. It makes you somebody who's an opportunist. And that's the difference. Like hustle, like Gary Vee hustles. And that's why I give him a little more credit is because that man is putting together content constantly, putting out all these shows, employing people. He's not just sitting at his desk with a cup of Henny playing video games against some celebrity. You get what I'm saying? And maybe it's built to the point where it's like, all right, you're on Complex and you have these looks and the following, rah, rah, rah. But when you show up to Complex, you're basically like sit in a chair and everybody does everything for you, give your opinions and leave. And I don't understand how people get famous for giving opinions to famous people without really contributing anything other than the opinion. I mean, reposting, I guess, on Instagram is that's a job. Like, shout out to the people that are running blogs, like, but that's also, it's a job you do from home.
I feel that maybe
class. It's not like that's my thing. He's not a classy guy.
No, I feel that maybe it might be though. I'll give you a reason. Like when academics was getting big on YouTube, and I don't want to spend too much time on this because I know you're not a fan of it.
It's all good. We can stay on this all day.
But when he was coming up and getting big on YouTube, like he was just hitting a pocket that nobody was hitting. Like you can say what you want about it, as in like
what pocket, like covering. The video games,
but just no.
I'm very curious.
No, just like all the news on like the game. Like when we were younger, one of my friends would be like, "Oh, did you see academics posted about yada yada that's happening in New York or something?"
Yeah, for sure.
And like this was our entrance point to like hip hop. This is him keeping us updated 24/7. Like he hit a pocket like then. Okay, what he was covering, he might have been doing all sorts to get his views up and whatnot. But to us, like he was the consumer. He was just giving us information quicker than XXL. Shout out XXL. Quicker than like all these other media platforms. Like he was just straight to the point, boom, 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 boom. And that's kind of like, I think, one of the reasons why he got now. It is true that he did other things maybe to get the following, but just from a consumer standpoint, he was just giving us the news straight, and that's why we started following.
Just one after another.
Just one after another.
And I respect it. Like I'm not mad at somebody who could really dig through and tap into the culture and work the news and build a following. It's when you insert yourself into that now. It's like it's like if Cole Bennett popped out on Lyrical Lemonade, like, you know what? Fuck New York. And then just went back to the headquarters and was like, and that's my thing. And not for nothing, it's like at least Cole is investing in equipment and all this shit. It's like there's just something about internet opinion givers that it's like I think there's got to be a balance to it. It's like as much as your opinion is valid and like it's cool that people give their feedback, whether it's like an academics on culture or it's a kid playing with toys and saying whether he likes it or not. Like
I guess
all good and dandy. It's the way that it comes across. Is it ultimately positive because it's like, okay, this is great, we're getting the news early and it's incorporating all these things and it's building? Or is it like, oh nah, this is just like we get news in exchange for attention, and what he does with the attention is very irresponsible. It's just like
definitely,
and it's not. It takes more from the culture than it gives. It's like, okay, I'm gonna give you news, but in exchange, give me your attention so that I can now spew hate for certain people and use it to push my agenda.
May I ask, what's the I don't know if it's a personal question, but like, what's his reputation like within the industry?
I mean, within the industry, I know people that can't really stand him. I know people that put up with him. I haven't really heard anybody that's like, I love that guy. He's such a great guy. Like, I fuck with him. Maybe like one or two girls that I know that like run blogs or run like websites that like he'll repost their shit, that they're just like loyal. But like, I don't know anybody in particular that's just like, he's a good dude, I fuck with him. Like, I respect him. Like, nobody respects him.
Okay, I feel it.
And that's
You
the
know
thing.
who?
And granted, not many people respect me either, but it's because I don't have a
I
million
respect you,
followers.
Mike.
Like, and that's, I guess that's the thing is like, I mean, to put some credits to that, I respect the following. I respect the fact that you're able to dig for the information. I respect the fact that you're able to know who's who and what's what. But at the same time, what you do with that attention is so essential. Are you contributing stories
What's
and
intentions? Yeah.
yeah, like at the end of the day, it's the same with Gary. Like Gary's very aggressive and rah rah rah, but what he contributes ultimately does change people's lives and is
Oh yeah, no doubt
positive.
about it.
I can't think of things that academics has contributed that's more positive
I feel
and
it.
like
I feel it.
and maybe I'm ignorant being in the industry. Like maybe I get the news from so many different places and I kind of know what pages to follow that like I don't need this overall hub. But like I don't know. I just don't get what the constant like opinion given and
Yeah.
like why that
I feel that.
equals validation. Like shout out to like guys like Joe Budden who are like Joe Budden's a complete dick.
Joe Budden's killing him, man. Yeah, he's a lovable dick though. He's just a lovable kind of.
Well, he gives his opinion and he doesn't hold back and he's fair about it. Like that's the thing is like whether you hate him or you love him, you gotta love him.
Respect it, yeah. You respect it, yeah.
Because he doesn't flip flop. You know, Wayno, shout out to Wayno. Doesn't
yeah, man. I was literally about to say Wayno.
Shout out to Nakia.
Wayno seems like a
they
cool
don't
guy.
flip flop. Maybe Nakia a little bit, but like politicky flip flopping, not like agenda pushing, provoke. So like that's my thing. Although it is necessary to have that guy, there's a million of these guys on the internet that aren't famous.
Yeah, I feel that.
I don't know.
No, I feel that.
I'm one of them. But at the same time, I don't really have an urge to be famous, and I would prefer to use any attention I have to talk about the shit that we're talking about, and not just be like, "Yo, you know what? 220? Fuck the Migos. Fuck Atlanta."
Migos, who was left off Bad and Bougie?
Shout out to
left
Atlanta.
off Bad and Bougie.
Shout out to Atlanta and shout out to the Migos.
Shout out to Migos, right? Yeah, influential.
He didn't take off.
What you all about Bad and Bougie? I wasn't left off Bad and Bougie.
Yo, I think Takeoff is the nicest rapper. No disrespect to Quavo. I think Takeoff is fucking crazy.
You know what I didn't realize? Do you know, actually, Kells, you fan of MGK at all?
MGK?
Machine Gun Kelly.
MGK?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You said Kells, MGK. I was confused.
Kells is like kind of like side name or whatever, I guess, an alias or whatever. But I didn't realize he was friends with Migos like way back, like when they're on the come up. Like
he's been around a long time, Machine Gun Kelly.
He's been around so long.
I'm about to hold up 1 second. I'm gonna just put you on to something. I mean, tell me what you were gonna tell me about Machine Gun Kelly, but
no, I was just gonna fucking say that like I followed Machine Gun Kelly like for years, so like I know like I'm a like OG fan, like so like I've had the pleasure of seeing the progress. But like if it was any rapper that like it hasn't got, I think what he's starting to get his roses now, but hasn't got his roses, he would be one. I would think he would be one, because like I don't know what it's like from an industry standpoint, but like I know like when you talk rappers, it's never a name that comes up. It's like, oh, MGK. It's never kind of name that says.
People don't give Kelly the respect he deserves. I'm gonna try and share this screen. Let me see if I could do that. I'm just learning how to share screens.
Dope. And he won the battle.
Check that out. So that's a throwback with MGK from 2012. It's 2012. That was 8 years ago.
You with the baby face, Mike.
and for me to post this 8 years ago, that means he was lit then.
Damn.
So he's been doing it for a minute.
Damn, yeah. Shout out Kells, man. Shout out MGK.
A lot of respect to MGK. He's working with Femme too. Have you heard of Femme? You listen to any Femme?
Yeah, she's sick.
She's
sick.
So fire.
She was on which album? She was on the last.
She got this song Sweater that's ill. Her own work is fire.
Yeah, that's how I found her. I found her through MGK. I follow a lot of that camp, like Mod Sun. I'm a big Mod Sun. I don't know if you know Mod Sun.
Yeah.
Man, I love Mod Sun. Oh man, huge Mod Sun fan. Like
we're gonna have to talk about some rappers that aren't white at some point.
Oh yeah.
We've only mentioned Joyner and the Migos, and honestly, Joyner could either way.
Yeah, fair. So, Drake's your favorite rapper?
Drake. No, I like the new project. The new project's pretty clean.
Who do you listen like?
Live Like Davis is my favorite rapper.
Like my day, yeah, like Davis. That new record though, that new jumper. Let me see, who am I listening to? Let me check my Spotify. Actually, well, I'm still waiting on a Joey Badass album, but God knows when that will come.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, we gotta at least speak on my favorite white rapper, 220.
Love it. Who do you listen to? Like
Who do I listen to?
I never actually asked you who you listen to.
You want to know what I listen to? People don't realize I'm like so over a lot of rap. Like Davis has to put me on. If Davis don't put me on, it has to be something that's really moving. It's got to be some shit that's like that new Smooth L fucking is pretty good. Not that it's new. It's been out for months now, but like I listen to a lot of shit like that. Like when something like that drops, that's like making noise in the city. I listen to that. I listen to a lot of New Music Friday stuff, which, you know, incorporates a lot of, you know, rock, hip hop. It's not necessarily just one genre.
Yeah, it's mixed, yeah.
Listening to the Kid Leroy, Oliver Tree, Jake Wapo. Been listening to, I listen to Drip Report because that Sketcher song is fire. But that's just hip hop, to tell you the truth, because when it comes to like music overall, I've been listening to Flora Cash, has a song called You're Somebody Else that's ridiculous.
You gotta make a playlist so I can just follow this, because like I'm missing so many things here. Yeah, but which you would a couple playlists.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, my rock and roll, I call it rock and fucking roll. This playlist has how many songs does this have?
You just have me here thinking, damn,
34 hours.
White rappers.
34 hours of songs. Definitely songs like the White Stripes, all kinds of shit. I really do enjoy me some Smokey Margiela though.
Fancy echelon.
Young NLE Chopper, NBA. I fuck with. Yeah. There's a lot of music, man. Honestly,
Corday. I love Corday. Corday is gonna be a legend.
You like your bars. You just bars for breakfast.
I wouldn't. I like. I bars for breakfast. I listen to a lot of Black bars too. Big Black fan. I think Black is like legendary. He's gonna go down as legend.
Black's pretty tight. Do you listen to St. John at all?
I listened to a little bit of St. John. I found St. John about I think like a year and a half ago. I was watching some interview, and I knew he was a writer for Rihanna. That's how he kind of came in the game as a writer. And then I started listening to him a little bit. And one day I heard the remix of Roses. You know, the remix that's like blown up. And I couldn't understand. Like I knew it sounded familiar, but like in the remix, you can't understand a word in the remix. It's like like there's no, you can't. I was listening to it. I was like, I know that song, and then I went on Spotify, finally found it, and I was on like 100 million or some mad numbers and shit. So like, shout out St. John. St. John is pretty cool too.
Yo, you know what else you need to listen to?
Put me up on game.
The new Coi Leray, the new Abby Jasmine. Both of those. I mean, Abby Jasmine has a project called Who Cares? It's a smash. Coi Leray has a new record out. It's pretty tight. I've been listening to Mikey Polo. I've been listening to Derek Milano. Is a kid I had on Station Head the other day. He's fired. That boy done wrote for everybody.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and he done a lot of stuff. He just did the Beyonce Meg Thee Stallion joint, and he did the original Meg Thee Stallion joint.
Oh fuck.
Derek Milano's tough. He's a dude that's just like HL or Aaron Ray, who's just kind of like low key out in Cali writing hits.
Just killing it, yeah.
There's a dog behind this fence that's behind this fence.
Shout out Iron May. Iron May is dope, man. Iron's really dope.
Lots of good music. But yeah, man, I appreciate you taking the time this morning. This is fucking lit. We should do this more often.
Facts, man. Can I do a little plug before I go?
Oh yeah. Plug away. Plug anything you'd like.
So new single that I just dropped is called Foxtrot. It's produced by the homie River. I released it like 2 weeks. It's starting to grow organically on streaming, so if you could check that out. And if you want to hit me on the gram, it's just 220HQ, 220HQ everywhere. And thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure, my man. I really appreciate it. And just last thing I want to say, for anyone who doesn't know, Mike is the coolest motherfucker ever, and has always treated me with so much respect. So I appreciate that, man, and you're a legend. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I appreciate you, bro. Much love. 220, stay strong, y'all.
Hey, you know what? Just